Right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the webinar series number 3 about how to create a virtual office hours and some kind of tips and tricks to make your Moodle course page more interactive. We will wait for 3 more minutes and then we will start the session because I see only just half has joined. We had almost like 90 plus registrations happen for the session, and we see the number is coming up. So just let's wait for 3 more minutes and then we'll start the session. Those who are on, if you can hear me well, can you please confirm by saying, can you raise your hands if you can hear me well, please? Okay, thank you, Dr. Gombi. Right, Dr. Chinita, thank you. Thank you so much for the confirmation. All right, thank you so much for the patience, and thank you so much for waiting. We'll start right now because we've got to cover some kind of interesting topic for today's session. So before I start with the demonstrations, I wanted to give you an overview about what we're going to plan for this session. This is the plan for this session. These are things which I'm going to cover in this particular hour. I'm having a kind of a small kind of description about what is a block and Moodle, and I'm going to introduce you to the concept of books. We'll have a small discussion on the forum. We'll talk about the chats in Moodle. And then finally, we're going to talk about creating appointment slots for the students, which is the most interesting one. Before we start, I wanted to just give you a prerequisite. If you wanted to do this appointment slot web, you should be very clear with the Google Calendar concept. So those who wanted to have a look on my previous webinar, you will find the recording about Google Calendar, because the Google Calendar is the one which we're using for the appointment slots booking system. So if you wanted to do it well, my prerequisite is like you need to get a clear idea about how the Google Calendar works. You should differentiate your calendar with your calendar which has been shared. All that concept has to be very clearly taken care before you start with the appointment slot system, which we're going to plan for the later hour. Just a prerequisite before I start, I thought I would just mention it. And what more we have is, this is the plan. We're going to spend 20 minutes talking about the blogs, books, forum, chats. And then another 20 minutes we're going to spend about the creation of appointment slots. And then I have given more time this time for Q&A because a lot of questions should be answered on this context. So that's why I'm giving more time for the Q&A part this time. So please feel free to ask any questions related to the context we are discussing today, because as we are aware, we are recording this session and we are making it available for the participant who is not or who's not there. So it would be very good if we can just keep the questions related to the topic we are discussing for today. Any other questions, I can get back to you on a one-to-one base. Just wanted to give you this idea before I start the session. All right, so since I've given you a kind of a small idea about what's it going to be like, let's jump and start about the first one. That's the blog. Okay, so I have my page here. So this is my Moodle page, which I'm going to use for the demo purpose. I think I'm using a couple of pages. One is this, the information technology page. Okay, and the other one is a computer skills page, which is here. So these are the two pages which I'm going to use it for the demo purpose. Okay, I have a kind of question from a doctor saying the sound is not clear. Is it the same for everybody, or it is one? Again, can you give me a hand raise if you are clear with the sound part? Can you give me a hands? Can you give me your hands up if you can hear me well, please? How about checking with someone? I think okay. I'm going to Dr. Said. Dr. Said, your mic is unmuted. Can you confirm whether sound is clear for you? Dr. Said from pharmacy?
Yes, sound is clear to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So let's continue. So I was talking, like, now we're going to use two course pages for the purpose of demonstrating the blogs, books, and blogs, books, forum, and we will be talking about chat. The first and foremost thing what I wanted to show you here is, in my course page, if you see here, this actually I was doing for practicing for the webinar. So what I have done here is, my page, I have tried to minimize all the unwanted blocks here. So if your course page is not having any blocks, this it will go very good as I'm displaying here. The only one block I have here is administration. Now, some of you would be asking me, what is a block? So if you click on your Moodle page and turn editing on mode, like how you can add resources and activities, there is a feature in Moodle page that's called as block. Block can be anything. It can be activity results. It can be an attendance block. It can be a block for showing the course completion. It can be a latest announcement block. By default, we can see a lot of blocks like how I have in this page. So by default, most of you would see that. If you go back to your course pages, most of us can see there is a search forum, there's a latest announcement, there's an upcoming event, there's a recent activity, and many more. So is it really important to have these things in our course page? But again, depends on how you wanted to make it, or how you wanted to give it to the students. So what I thought is, today I will start with the first concept. That is, how do we add a block? As I told you, if my course page is in non-editing mode, if it is very minimal block available in my course page, then it looks very clean. Now, if I wanted to add one more to my course page, how I do that is, I click on 10 editing on. Once I click on 10 editing on, I get to see on my left, I get to see something called add a block. So if you click on add a block, you get to see a lot here. Let me first start with one of the interesting ones that's called as HTML. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to start with a very small example. I, as a faculty of this course, I wanted to share my details to the students. So I'm going to create the HTML block. So the advantage of HTML block is like how you use labels in your course page. You can make your HTML blocks as interesting or as good as the labels are in your course pages. Now I'm going to configure that. So I click on configure. So when I click on configure, it opens a page for me. I can give a title for my page. So I'm going to say faculty details, or yeah, faculty details. Let's put that way. And here, after putting the title, I'm going to add a picture of mine to give it to the students, because I just wanted to share that and say, okay, hey, this is me. If you have any problem, you can reach me. So let me grab a picture of mine, which I have here. Okay, this is my picture. I'm going to add a picture. Now the picture is inserted. So once the picture comes up, you can actually adjust the picture. I'm going to say that this picture size, I'm going to give it as 50-50, a smaller one. And on the top, maybe 100, a slightly bigger one. And then I'll say, whenever you have a picture inserted in a page or inserted in a label or anywhere, you can just activate this checkbox. And if you're not activating the checkbox, you need to give a description, which will help the students to understand what it was if the picture is not available. So this description will serve as a help for the students to understand what the picture was if the picture is missing. So I'm not giving any description. It's just say that description is not necessary. And then I'm going to save this image. So my picture is right here. And what I do after that is I'm going to make a new paragraph, and then I'm going to give my name. So I'll give my name, and I will give my, let's say, my email here. Okay, and you can add what more you wanted to do it. You can add it, and finally, once you complete it, you can click on save. So once you complete this, you can see that on your course page, there will be a new tab which will be appearing for the student. And this is faculty details. So my name, my email, you can make it more informative based on how you wanted to place it. So in my case, I just wanted to put as simple as it is. I've given faculty details, and my name and my email address is right here. So as a student, let me show you as a student. So I have got another window which I have kept it open here just to show you how the student sees it. So this is the student view of it. Forget about my name up here. I'm using the same profile to act as a student here. So once the student comes to the page, he gets to see this. He sees that this is a faculty details. Okay, so this is what block is. A block can be anything, and the most interesting thing which you can add to your block is a faculty details, because the second part of our discussion, we're going to talk about how we can create virtual office hours. So I wanted to start with a faculty profile or faculty details to be shared with the students so that it will be easy for you to follow the next part. So a block can be of anything that can be added to your course page. Now let's see some other blocks. The other important block which you can add to your course is course completion status. In my previous workshops or in my previous seminars, I used to tell how important the course completion criteria is. So if you wanted to give your students to keep a track of how the course is progressing, you can introduce that block inside your course page. That's again one more. And then we have many more, and I will say one, I will add one more and then move to the next. Okay, next is latest announcements. Okay, latest announcements actually easy access for your announcement forum. So whatever you put in the forum, it's going to appear here, or you can put up directly, or you can post directly from here to the forum even. So you can put up the subject, let's say timetable, and you can put up the message. Please have a look on, please check out, check. And then you can type the message, and then you can have an attachment if you have it, and then you can send it. And if you post it, it will be appearing in the forum as well as, okay, so right, this is a forum. It will appear in the forum as well as it will show in the block right here. So here is the latest announcement from the faculty. So what all things do you feel that it's important in your course that should be added as a block right from here? Another interesting block which I have here is something called section links. So if you have a section link, uh, this block can help the students to avoid the scrolling up and down. So my course has got 4 sections. So if the student click on code, a fourth link, it takes him to the 4th section. So let's go back and see how the student sees that. Okay, right here, and as a student, so I'm refreshing the page, and when I come here, I get to see the section link. If the students click on the section, it takes him to the section where I have it, and it's very easy. And for him, he can get a quick access to his latest announcements, his completion criteria. So if you click on the completion criteria, you get to see that here, and then it's very easy for him. So you don't have to go to 10 or 15 places. So blocks are a very quick access in your course page, which can help the students to easily navigate to the most important details. So I have got 3 blocks added to my course. The first block was a HTML block where I had given a label as faculty details, my name, and then a picture of mine. And then I had something called course completion status bar or course completion status block, which the student can get to know about the status. Now, you can ask me why the status is not displayed here. The reason is, as a faculty, I have few activities here. For example, I come to my course page, I've got multiple activities here. I've got a test, I've got assignments, but did I add all those things in my course completion? Maybe not. So let's go ahead and do that so that you can understand how does it work. So I go to the course completion and I make it active, and then all should be completed, or any should be completed. And then if you see here, I think it has to be tagged with each and every activities also, then it will be appearing for the student. So when you come over here, activity completion, you should make sure that this is also active. So if you do it in this format, then for the students, it will be very easy for them to understand where do they stand and how much they need to do for completing the course. And is it going to help only the students? The answer is no. You as a faculty, you can also keep a track of it. So if you click on the block, or if you go to the course completion status block, you get to see a report, and then this report will give the details of the student, how many has completed and how many hasn't completed. And this report can be exported as an Excel, CSV, etc. So this block can help you, or this block can save a lot of time for keeping a track how many students has completed what they have completed. That's a block. And the latest announcements is going to be a very quick kind of block for announcements. Anything that you put in the announcements forum that can be appearing here. So that's the latest announcement block. And then you have section links. So the section link will help the students to move up and down in an easy way. That make sure that if you add something like this, please explain to students well so that they don't get confused. So these are the blocks which we have got. The next, what I wanted to talk about is, if I go back to my objective, the blocks I've done. The next is a book. So the book is actually how you see here, a green color with a black border. This is an icon for the book, like how you have this stick and a paper for a quiz, and this for the forum. So this icon is for a book. Now let's see how you can insert a book. So the books can be inserted from add a resource tab. If you're using add an activity or resource in the same kind of window, you can see that in the under the resource section. So if you go to the resource section, you will find a link for the book. And when you click on the book, you get to see a page that's going to come up for you. You can give the name for the book as you want. I'm going to say logbook, just for an example. Okay, now you can describe about the book as we always used to do, and then you can say how it is going to appear. You don't have to put numbers. You can just keep it as none. The style can be images and text, so how it can navigate from one page to the other page. So the style for that, that's the style of navigation. And if you have some kind of tracking system which you wanted to enable, you can activate it. So I'm going to say that the student must view this activity. So the student must view the book before, let's say, March 15th or March 14th. So this is a completion, and then I click on Save and Display. So when you do that, once you do that, you get to see this one. So here is the first chapter of your book. So I'm going to give the first chapter as introduction. And here you can have your text. When I say text, it can be content like this, or it can be from your Google Drive. You can, in fact, bring a video. So let's do that by bringing a video from Google Drive. So I'm going to the HTML, and in my previous lesson chapter, I was telling you about the video part. So I'm going to go back to my video here, my Google Drive. I go back to my video, and then I'm going to grab the video HTML code by getting up here, and then I'm going to copy that, do a copy, come back to my course page, and then I'm going to paste it here. And then I'm going to uncheck this back. So the video is going to be appearing for me. And then I'm going to make it as the center. So this is the first page. Like this, you can have multiple pages. So this is the page 1 in my book. I have a video, that's the introduction. And then you can add another page to the book by creating the plus symbol. So if you're adding a sub page of chapter number 1, you can say it's a sub page. You have to give a title. I'm going to say here 1.1 Moodle, and then I'm going to give a subchapter. It's going to be a subchapter. And then the content, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab something from my YouTube. So let me just go and get something from my YouTube. Okay, right here, I'm going to YouTube. I'm going to search something from my YouTube videos. Let's go and get about Moodle. So I got a Moodle YouTube, and then I'm going to say I want something about Moodle. Okay, there we go. So this is about Moodle, and I'm going to come up here, and then I go to the share option, and then go to the embed, get this code, and then get back to my book chapter. And here, I'm going to say it's again going to be HTML, and then put it back to the normal. So you get to see the video from YouTube is coming up here, and save changes. Okay, so that's my chapter number 1.1. So if you see here, I have introduction, and then I have 1.1. So that's Moodle. So if you ask me what happens if you don't give 1.1, nothing. It won't just show actually. It will be just the title straight. So if I just update my title, you can see that it's going to be just a subchapter. And what else you can do with this? There is a very interesting thing which you can do with this book. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring something from my computer. That is, I have an option from this tool to import from Microsoft Word. So let's say that you have a beautiful document about any lesson which you have created, and then you wanted to bring that chapter, or you wanted to bring that to Moodle, not as a kind of document, but as a kind of page. It is part of a book. So how can I do that? Is I can go ahead and just search on it and then get it. So I'm going to say here, my subchapters are going to be subchapters in the book. And then I go to my computer, and let me just go get my book. So got my things, my official economics. All right, let me just get my course works. All right, here are study materials. I've got some books about let's say Office 2013. Okay, so these are some of my notes which I've prepared about Outlook. I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to upload it. Now, what happens there is it's going to be taking a few minutes of time, and depends on your content, including the picture, image, everything is going to be imported in a fraction of seconds. So I'm going to import, and it says it's successful. I'm going to continue with that, and now I can see that I've got something like HTML index.html, so that's my book. So it's right here. All my things, like including my images, including my pictures, all what I have given has come up in this page. So if you feel that customizing Moodle, or the Moodle has got very limited tools for insertion and making modification and changes, you can do this import option. So now let me give a beautiful title for it. So MS Outlook, and then save changes. So when you do that, you get to see that the books is very much available right here. Okay, now let's go back and see as a student. So as a student, okay, student was here in my page. Okay, right here, as a student, I go to the course, and then I go and refresh the page, because I need to refresh always when I have a book. Now the students see that there's a book in the theory section. So if we go there, he gets to see the logbook. And when he opens the logbook, he gets to see that there are 3 pages. So this is an intro page, and this is about the Moodle, that's a video, and this is about Microsoft Outlook. So that's a book which he has got to read a lot. So this is how you can bring your books onto your Moodle page. So that's the second one which I wanted to talk. The third point which I wanted to give you is about forums and then the chat option. Forums are very straight as how you normally do the latest announcements. You can have a number of forums. So let me just show you an example. If you go to add an activity resource, you click on the forum. You can see you can give the title for the forum. So I wanted to have an offline student interaction. So I want to say FAQ page for this course. So I can give the title as FAQ. I can describe about it. And then here I have an option for subscription. If you activate the subscription as first subscription, all the students are going to get the automated email about the post. And here, if you make it as Q&A forum, there will be some terms and conditions for the students. Each and every student can see the forum discussion only if he posts any kind of question. So that's a Q&A forum, and you can have type of forum according to your need. And I came across an interesting video which was shared by Dr. Ibrahim from College of Pharmacy, talking more about the forum. I think I will share with you. That's very interesting. They had got a beautiful example of creating forum. That video I can share with you so that you can get more ideas about that. So for creating forums, it is like you go to the title, give the description, choose what kind of forum you wanted to place it. And the best part is if you click on this question mark, it will give you the detailed information about what are the different 5 types of forums you have got here. And if you have some attachment, if you wanted to make sure that you are limiting the resources space, you can limit the forum. You can limit the size of the file right here. And the maximum number of attachment can be also limited. So these are the things which you can try right now to create an FAQ part and then save and display. Now, when you do that, you get to see that how you have a course latest announcements, you have an FAQ. So here you can type all the related topics and things. Is it only you? No. If I get back to the student profile and if I get back to the home page, the student is also having FAQ here. So I, as a student, there is no question in the forum, to respond. So I didn't post anything, so that's why it is happening like that. But if something is posted, the students will be able to see that right here. So I'm going to say test, and I'm going to give it as test message, and then post it. Okay, now the student get back here to my course page, and then, I'm sorry. All right, let's refresh and see whether it has come up here. Yeah, it has come up right here. So this is the FAQ part. So if you wanted to answer, you can answer, the student can answer right here. And also, if you wanted to make some kind of forums on the top of the list, you can do that. You can select the forums and make it on the top of the list. So that facility is also there in the forum part. So this is how the forum appears. So you can pin it, and then this will be appearing on the top of the list. So this is very good, and this is very interesting if you have many things coming up in the forum. The next part is about the chat option, which you've got. So the chat option can be found under the activity, and then you get to see the chat option right here. So when you create a chat option, you get to see the same window like how we created a forum. You can say, talk to me, something. All right, so talk to me, and then you can have a chat session setting up. So you can say from which time the chat will be available, and do you want the things to be published? You can have it safe, and how long you want the chat to be saved, and who can view the chat options. You can say yes, no for here. Like that, you can set up a chat. So the chat can be like for every week once you can do it. So when the student comes in here, you can create a chat at any point of time, and then you can set up the date and time. So when the student comes here, he can see what's the next chat time. Say, for example, I'm going to say that the chat time is going to be 16th of April at 4 p.m. And then I'm going to say publish chat on the every day, and I can just say that, okay, do not publish, and then I'm going to say that the same, and then I'm going to say save and return. So the chat is created. Now the student comes back to the course page, and when he get back to the page, he get to see talk to me. That's the chat option, and he sees that click here, chat now. So what happens is he gets to see the chat option. But if you're available, your name will be also displayed. Let's see that. Okay, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to be there in the chat box. Now, when the student sees that, okay, let me enter the chat room. And the student sees here that you are right here. So you can beep, you can talk to the student. So when the student click on beep and send it to the faculty, faculty gets a beep alert here. So it says that the Suraj has given something. How are you? So, and then you can post in the chat, and then the student sees that in his view. Okay, so this is LMS admin is the faculty, and Suraj is a student. So the student sees what you're typing, and you can chat accordingly. So these are some kind of examples of creating asynchronous kind of meetings with the students. And now let's go back to the most important one. That's how to create a synchronous or offline, virtual office hours. To do that, I wanted to use Google Calendar. So in my Google Calendar, when I say in my Google Calendar, I need to make sure that this is active. So this should be taken care. And then what I need to do is I need to plan when I will be available for synchronous or a kind of online chat with the student. Let's say I'm going to plan from 19th, and every day from 19th I'm going to be available for them from 3 to 5. Okay, so I'm going to choose that, and here I have an option, the third option, which is appointment slots. When I click on appointment slots, and I can say that how much time I'm going to give as each slot. I can make it as 15 or 30 minutes. So the title I'll say that students meeting, or students meeting. All right, now after I do that, I can go back to my more options, and then I can see that this is going to be repeated on a custom format. And then I'm going to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be there, and it's going to end by 19th of July, and click on done. Now, when I click on save changes, you can see that every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I don't have it. So all these days you have the slots which is created. Now, how do I share the slots with the student? I can click on any one of it. I can see a link called Go to Appointment page. Copy the link, get back to your Moodle course page. And here in my course, what I have done is I had created a faculty block, right? So I go to that settings. I just make a small modification. I'm going to make it as like here, I'm going to configure and say a kind of new text. Virtual office. So I'm going to say virtual office meeting here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the link. So select the text, make this more, and click on this and paste the link, which I have copied about my appointment slot. And I want the students to open a new window. So I got to check this box and create the link. So now the link is created and it is saved in my course page. Now, coming back to the student view, what happens? Let's go and see what happens to the student. So this is a student view. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So this is a student view. So student comes back here. And when you get back to the first page, he'll see that virtual office meeting. So when he clicks on virtual office meeting, it opens his Google Calendar. He should sign. If he is not signed in, it will allow him to book the appointment slot. So here, when he clicks on the link, it will first ask him to sign in. So I'm going to sign in with my password. And then when he clicks on the link, when he signs in, he will be able to see the appointment slots like this. Now here, what I'm going to do is as a student, I'm going to click on this, and then I can say my name and what I need to discuss. Say, for example, my name is, let's say, XYZ. And I'm going to discuss about my course grade. And then I'll save it. Now, that's the beauty. So when you save it, it says that your appointment slot is booked, and it will be available for the student as well as for faculty. So the appointment slot which the student has taken is now added to my calendar. So let's go back and see my calendar. So let's come back here, go to the calendar. As a student, I'm talking about. So I booked some appointment slots right here. I think, okay, this is the one. XYZ 3 p.m. So the appointment is booked with Suraj IT. So that's the faculty. And this is me. So this is regarding the course grade. Now, if you ask me, should I create a GoToMeeting link? Not really, because in this particular facility, the faculty can create something called Hangout Meet. So the faculty, if they had created a calendar, and in that calendar, the GoToMeeting or Hangout is activated, automatically students gets to see that. So using the Hangout Meet, you can call the student, have the meeting with them. Now I have a slight problem here, so I'm just going to use my gmu.ac.ae account to demonstrate this. So let's say I have this one, and then let's assume that this is appointment slot. And when I save it, so this is an event, okay? So what happens is when you go to this automatically comes up, okay? So this will be available when the slots are booked. And when you click on join meeting, you get to see that you can see that there is going to be a join meeting request of it's not actually Hangout Meet is there. And then when the student and faculty clicks on the Hangout Meet, they will be able to talk to each other. They will be able to discuss about the problem. They can share the cam. They can share the screen. All what you do in GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar will be available using Google Hangout Meet. So this is how you can establish a kind of platform for virtual office. So once the meeting is done, you can close it up. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to open the mic for everybody. and let's talk let's hear from you about your problems, or let's discuss about this. I want you to ask your questions so I can answer your questions, and then we will take it from there. Okay, the mics are getting open from 1 to 1. So just bear with me because I was not able to do it in one shot. So few of you have the mics unmuted. Those who are unmuted, if you have any questions, please shoot up.
Yeah, and the cap oh, pen drive in the cap.
Doctor, so your mics are unmuted. If you wanted to talk something, you can unmute yourself and talk to me. And if you don't want, please mute yourself back so that it won't disturb others.
Hi, Suraj. Am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Ramya.
Regarding that book option, I
Yes,
just
doctor.
wanted to know, is it possible that we can add chapters from textbooks? Like you had copied a Word document and added it over there, right?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, so similarly, if we have any textbooks and like we just want to share one part of a chapter from clinical key, say for instance, could that be copied as well?
Yes, doctor, you can do that. The way to do that is it is like okay, let me get it clearly. So you have a textbook or you have something from clinical key and you want that particular part to be shared with the student. Is that right, doctor?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so what you can do in that case is you can open the textbook. If it's a PDF, you can open the textbook in the Google Chrome.
Okay.
Give me a second, doctor. I'm getting kind of distracted with something here. Doctors, your mics are muted. Please do cooperate with me. If you are not talking, please mute yourself so that it won't disturb the session. Because I cannot handle the mic as well as I cannot give the answers. So please do take care of the mic. Mute yourself back if you don't have any questions. Okay, Dr. Ramya, the scenario is, let's say, all right, so let's say this is a PDF file, doctor. So what I can do is PDFs can be open. Okay, doctor. Dr. Ramya, I'm here. I mean, I know you're muted because I'm keep on getting a disturbance. I'll unmute you in a minute. So let's see here. I have got a PDF here, which is like, yeah, what was it? Okay. Just give me a second, doctor. So let me just go to. All right, so I've got some PDFs here. Now what I can do is I can open this PDFs with Google Chrome. When you do this, you get an option to save this. When you click on print, you get an option to save this file. Now here, you can go to this option and say custom, and then you can choose from which page to which page you need to save, let's say 1 to 5. And then what you can do is you can save this as a PDF. And this PDF, after you save it, you can put it up in your Google Drive. So I'm going to get back here once again. So this is asking me where to save it. So I'm going to save it in my computer. That is in my desktop, sorry, my computer once again. Let me do it once again. Control P, save as PDF. I'm going to say that the page number is going to be from 1 to 5. And then I'm going to save it in my computer. And once it is completed, what you can do is you can add the PDF in your Google Drive. So once the PDF is available in your Google Drive, for example, I have some PDF which is right here. So, right, let's take an example of this PDF. So when you have, no, 1 second, doctor. I'm sorry about this. I got a bit disturbed with the voice that was happening around. All right, let's say, all right, so let's say this PDF. So what you have is, if you have a PDF like this, what you can do is you can just go ahead and click on this window and say, open it with a new window. And then when you come over here, you get the similar option, embed item. You copy the embed item and then get back to your book and then paste it there. So that's the best way to do it, Dr. Ramya. Dr. Ramya, you're unmuted. Do you have any question?
No, Suraj, it's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome, doctor. I have a question from Hiba. Can we use Hangout Meet for my mentees? Yes, yes, Dr. Hiba, you can use Hangout Meet for all your mentees. But to make the appointment slots available for the students, you have to do the steps which I just mentioned. Create appointment slots and share it in your course page so that the students can easily get in touch with you. Next, I have a question from Dr. Pratibha. Is a chat individual or group? Dr. Pratibha, about the group chat is going to be one-to-one, but the forum is going to be separate. So that's how it is actually, Doctor. Can you okay, I have a question from Dr. Pankaj saying show me how to embed the video from Google Drive. So for doing a video embed from the Google Drive, first of all, you need to go back to your Google Drive and then find the video. Let's say this is my video. So when I double click on the video opens in the initial phase like this. Now, once the video is giving a preview, you need to go to this 3 dots and then open it in a new window. So when you open this in a new window, if you get back to the more option, you get the embed item link. And then copy this embed item, get back to the place, be it a book or be it any place, you can get back there and you can paste it. So for example, if I wanted to bring my video to the book, so I can go to the book, add a new chapter, and then get it done. So I'm going to add a new chapter. And then here, I will say this is going to be an embedded code. So paste embedded code. Sorry, the code didn't get copied. So Control C and then Control V and then bring it back and then make the book in the center and then give a label.
دكتورة مي هدي إنجاز أثناء الويبينار بتاع سورج عملت الصينية دي. أنا بقول لك كان عندي ويبينار من 2 ل 3 وبعد كده من 3 ل 3 ونص جهزت وبعد كده حطيتها بقى أطلعها بقى وأروح أسخن علشان أنا مش فاهمة.
Okay, so this is how you have to actually add your video, Dr. Pankaj. Doctors, I'm not able to open the mics for everybody because I am not getting a very good response from your end. Because whenever I open a mic, I'm getting distracted and there is a huge background noise from your end. So let me do this. I'm going to, I'm going to lower the hand raise. So if anyone has got a question, please raise your hand. I will pick that person and I'll unmute them. If anyone is having a question, please please click the hand raise option so that I can I can unmute you, because if I'm giving an unmute to everybody, I'm not able to handle it. So no questions from anyone. Okay, I have Dr. Kaumudi coming in. Okay, Dr. Kaumudi. Yeah, there you go, doctor. Your mic is unmuted. Dr. Komati, your mic is unmuted.
Yeah. Thank you. A good one. I really liked your presentation. We learned a lot in this. It was just a comment for what Dr. Ramya had asked. I don't think it's a very good idea to put whole chapters into that our so-called book. I think that is not quite ethical. So please do not make that into a habit. Don't put big amounts from one textbook on to make it into some kind of your own book out here. It's not the done thing. Keep it as links and the way we are doing in bits and pieces. Do not combine it into one book. I don't think that's a very good idea.
Okay, thank you for that input, Dr. Gombi. Yes, of course, even I feel that it shouldn't be done like that. But since I got a question, I was supposed to answer it.
No, you can put in small amounts of material, but it shouldn't just join up and become into one book of its own kind.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, that is right. I completely agree with you, doctor.
Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Okay, I have now let me take Dr. Prabhu. Dr. Prabhu, yes, your mic is unmuted. Do you have a question, doctor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Suraj. It was a good presentation. I have a small doubt, Mr. Suraj. Is it always necessary to save the file in Google Drive before we copy it and paste it?
What file you're talking about, doctor?
Suppose I want to share a textbook with the students. I should save it to Google Drive before I give it to the students. If only from Google Drive I can copy it to the links in calendar.
Doctor, okay, listen. There are two concerns here. If your book is under 20 MB, you can put it in Moodle. But if you are trying to add as an embedded code, then you need, it is always wise to keep in Google Drive.
Okay.
I think, did you get that answer, doctor? Because why am I always recommending Google Drive is because the more you add content in Moodle, it can come like a bit slow. So if you have your Google Drive, the Google Drive can help us in the storage part. So that's the reason I'm always recommending to put things in Google Drive.
Yeah, I understand. I think bigger files we can store it in Google Drive and transfer.
Yes, doctor. That will be a wonderful idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Suraj.
You're welcome, doctor. I'm going to give it for Hiba. Dr. Hiba, you're unmuted.
Thank you, Mr. Suraj.
You're welcome, doctor.
I only have one question regarding the forum. When I post a forum, is there any way that I can get notifications on email or something to tell me that there is a new question or a new topic posted on the forum? But because I'm not checking it every hour, sometimes maybe one student posts something and he needs a quick response.
Thank you so much for bringing it, Dr. Hiba. Yes, it is very much possible. We had disabled this functionality because I was getting multiple complaints when we had like a daily session at the campus. Because especially from College of Medicine, when we have multiple faculties who's taking a module, all used to get notification. That was very disturbing, and that's the reason we disabled it. But right now we are working to enable it according to the colleges. So by Saturday, most probably I will be able to get a kind of update on that. It's almost there, but I just wanted to take an extra day to test it. And by this weekend, I will make sure that the forums notifications are enabled in our Moodle for especially for the credit courses. Because for MBBS, I think if you don't have any concerns for MBBS faculties, we will enable it across the programs. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm going to open it for the credit courses like College of Pharmacy, College of Nursing, and other programs. That will be up by this weekend, doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. And sorry, again, regarding the Hangout, if I need it for my mentees and they're not in my course, can I put it just in the Google Calendar and send them mails, for example, or what can it be done?
Again, doctor, if you're using appointment slot, your mentees as well as your students can use the slots, and then they can book a meeting with you. Okay, so
Okay.
that's a very good idea. Or because the reason why I'm telling you is because your Google Calendar will be a single place where you will have whole picture of your day and the whole picture of your week. There will be a chance, if you're not using a single calendaring system, there will be a chance you can mess up with the meeting. So I would rarely recommend you to use the appointment system and share the slots with your mentees as well as your students. So maybe in
Yeah, so
this
it
case,
can be
what you
shared.
can do is
Mm-hmm.
what you can do is, doctor, you can have two different types of appointment slots, one for the subjects and other for mentorship. Let's say on all Sundays and Thursdays you have for mentorship. So what I can do is I'll go to all Sundays and I'll say from 3:30 till 5 I'm available for appointment slots for mentorship. Okay, and then I can just say this, go back here and then say go for the more options, and I'll say that this is going to be available for, sorry, this is going to be repeated on Sundays and as well as on Thursdays, and then you can do this and save. So now what happens is this is going to be a mentorship slot, and then on other days, on the same days, you can have for another slots for your course. So you can make it separately and use the slots of use the facility appointments booking. That will be a good idea, doctor.
Thank you so much. And I will share the link with them by any mean, maybe
Yes, you
on
can.
by mail
Yeah,
or.
you can send an email to your mentee saying that this is my appointment slots. You can book my appointment slot using this. So they can directly do it with email. But why am I recommending in Moodle is because that will be a single place for the students to get easy access to all the links. But whichever is convenient for you, you can use it, doctor.
Yeah, I'm asking about the mentees who are not in my course because I have mentees. I'm not giving them any courses.
Okay, no problem. In that case, you can write a mail to the mentees and then just say that use this link for booking my appointment slots.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Suraj.
You're welcome, doctor. Okay, now I'm going to open it for Dr. Pankaj. Okay, Dr. Pankaj, your mic is unmuted. Dr. Pankaj, are you around? Okay, fine. I think he is left. Now I'm going to unmute Dr. Lamas. Dr. Lamas, your mic is unmuted.
Hello. I'm still here. Hello. Suraj.
Yeah,
Can you
doctor.
hear me?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, what I was
Dr.
going to say
Lamas.
was, this is regarding the question. This was regarding the question one of the faculty asked whether they can embed something from other sites. Especially, we have got very good clinical videos in Clinical Key. This is for all the faculty. So what we use is we have a GMU library link. So if you want to link your videos of the Clinical Key, you can copy that URL from the Clinical Key and you can post into your whatever assignments and on page. The idea is that once the student clicks on that link, he'll be asked to log into the GMU library. The moment he logs in, automatically he'll get linked to that video. So there are a lot of good clinical videos which are available on the Clinical Key. So all faculty actually requested to look at the resource and they can link it. Mr. Suraj, is any way possible that they can directly link to the video without going to GMU library authentication?
I think I need to check on that. As far as I know, there is no.
Professor Manda actually had one video basically on something, I think some tube insertion, which he picked up on the Clinical Key, and he wanted to use it as a video for the students. So the thing was, I linked it to the Moodle, but then it had to get authenticated from the GMU library interface and then go there. So if you can see, if you can have a direct link, then we've got a lot of lovely videos in Clinical Key resource, and we can use our GMU library resource to be used for our e-learning purposes. Especially if you can link to references to the books and chapters or some articles. So I think it's a good idea. So can you please check on that?
At the moment, Doctor, there is no single sign-on which is established between Moodle and the library part, but I will get back to the library and the IT team and
Okay,
then
but
get back.
even if it is not single sign-on, but just to inform the faculty that you can use a clinical key link. For example, if you have a video of clinical key, you can copy that URL, you can put into your Moodle page or any assignments or any lesson plans, wherever, books, wherever, and students will click that. He'll have to get authenticated from GMU library and directly will land up into that particular page or that particular resource. So it's a good way for you to link your stuff into GMU library stuff.
All right. Thank you so much for the input, Dr.
Okay,
Pankaj.
I'll go off because we have a meeting with Dr. Manda right now with the students.
Yeah. Dr. Lamnes, you can go ahead, Doctor.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Suraj. Thank you so much for your efforts. We really appreciate your efforts during this hard time. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Doctor.
So I have one question regarding this Google Hangouts that you had just mentioned, because I have one experience using these Google Hangouts as tools of teaching. Like you can invite the students. I don't know how much the capacity for these Google Hangouts. Like, for example, if I have more than 30 or 40 students, will the conversation be disturbed? Like, is it limited by a number of students? Like, I wonder if you all know that we have, okay, definitive sessions for webinar, but sometimes the sessions are like, you know, too much and we cannot have more than 1 hour or 2 hours to go into an interactive live discussion with the students. So is it possible to use these Google Hangouts to arrange meetings with the students, like if they are 30 or 40? Will it work out? And one more thing, I came to know also that we can record this conversation and we can also show our screen and explain upon the Google Hangouts, as well as we will get a record on Google Drive immediately after this like session finished. Then it will give you like a notification that this conversation or this meeting hangout will be recorded on the drive. So I just need your experience, or I just want to tell you, is it a good tool to be used in case that we need more sessions or more live interactive sessions with the students and we cannot get the access, or maybe limited some webinar sessions? Could we use this, for example, for a small discussion with the students, or no, it will not work?
Oh, very good question, Dr. Lamnes. Thank you so much. You always gives me a very good question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, so Google Hangout is a wonderful tool, and it can accommodate 250 participants at a time. That's how the Google Hangout Meet works. So this is a Google Hangout Meet page. You get to see that right from your Google application. You will have Google Hangout Meet, and then when you click on Start Joining the Meet, you can give a name, and you can start your meeting. So this is how you start the meeting. So this is a Google Hangout Meet, and you can present, you can share, and you can just join the details. Sorry, share the details with the participants.
Okay.
But so this is the settings option, and when you say join now, like, you know, this is how it is going to be. And now you can copy this and send it to people, or you can add people right directly from here. The emails can be added right from here. So this is a Hangout Meet.
Immediate notification will be sent for the participant. Once I click accept, then immediately they will the invitation will be sent on their emails, right?
Exactly, Doctor. So immediately the email notifications will be added, and then also you will also get notified right here. The count will go up and say that this is fine. But why we are not using Google Hangouts is we don't have a lot of engagement options like GoToWebinar. And
you mean the tools for teaching, right? You mean like
yes.
tools for teaching?
Yes.
Okay.
This is more or less like a meeting option, like how GoToMeetings are used. This can be used for meetings. If you have a mentorship, or if you want to discuss about certain things, you can use this, because you have an option like you can share the window. I mean, that options are very much here. But for the recording part, Google Meet works well with Google Classroom. So that is the reason we are not using Google Classroom as our learning management system. We are using Moodle. And right here, if you see on the top, it is getting recorded. Whatever I'm talking is getting recorded, and it will be available. Again, if you are using Google Classroom, it would have been very easy, but we're not using Google Classroom because of its primitive features. But again, if you wanted to, it is auto recorded, and when you close it, you can actually get the recording in your drive, and you can share it. But it is better to use this app for meetings rather than class sessions.
Or if I have, for example, cases to be discussed with the students, so I give students some cases, for example, for me in forensic, some cases to understand and analyze, and they have, for example, 5-6 questions to detect the signs or the analytical data. So for this I can use, because simply the student has to read the case, collect the data, and I can go into a discussion. Because actually for my course, forensic medicine, sometimes we are offering some criminal cases and we want to discuss who is the criminal, what is the time of death, how long this person has passed away. So it will be, it needs some kind of interactive discussion, which sometimes, not all, like because I have, for example, number of large students, so I'm not getting enough time during the webinar session to finish this. So if I feel that I'll be in need for that, I can use the aid of Google Hangout, I think, for discussion, because again, the discussion, it will not be in need for much tools, right?
Yes, absolutely, for the discussion. And also don't use a personal account. The one which gmu.az.ae is providing is an kind of verified app from Google, because it's part of our academic institution. It is verified, so you won't have any problems, or you won't face any challenges to use Google Hangout from your official account.
Thank you so much, and sorry for taking your time. Thank you.
No, that's very much good. I have Dr. Fatin. Okay, Dr. Fatin, your mic is unmuted.
Mr. Suraj, for this interesting webinar, really. We try to apply many points of it, inshallah. I just ask you about my enrollment in MEG 107, please.
Doctor, I will take care of that.
Yes, just to remember you. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Janita, you are unmuted. If you have any questions, you can shoot.
Thank you, Suraj. You have been helpful as usual. It's been very enlightening. I just had, I don't know whether I should speak about it here, but I had prepared the Google Calendar for the students, and I mentioned it to you, the public URL, they are not able to access it, of the calendar.
Okay, so I think good that you brought it, because I had some other people also asking the same questions. Most probably it is like this: if you are not activating this function, make it as public, and all events and details are displayed to people, it doesn't work normally. I feel that's the problem which you are that's the initial diagnosis which I can give you. But I think I need to look on to it detail, and I'll get back to you, doctor. But make sure that when you share the calendar, you have to make it as public, so that will allow people outside the institution also to have a look at the calendaring part.
Okay, Suraj, thank you.
Thank you. With that note, I think I have, okay. One sec. I have a question from Dr. Prezima. Is it possible to link ebooks or chapters from GM? Okay, I think Dr. Prezima, Dr. Pankaj has mentioned about the same question. At the moment, we don't have a direct integration with eLibrary. I will check and get back to you on that. I have a question. Okay, I have some comment from Dr. Anya. Okay, the video will be very much available within an hour. You're going to get the video onto your email. Okay, I have another question saying that, are you sharing any Moodle course page? I cannot see. Okay, I think it's a kind of logistics and housekeeping part. Well, I think I have answered almost every questions. Okay, thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon with another interesting topic. Until then, stay safe and do smart work as always. And thank you once again.
Thank you, Suraj.